seems to me that any responsible organisation, Andrew Cummins, sorry, would sit down and actually do some kind of fundamental review of how they go forward and what they can afford and where the cash flow is going to come through and what sort of stuff we do in any business. How do you actually now take that work and move from what has been almost an inane discussion in the press, specific questions about every little recommendation, and try and actually get a message to the community that they've got to actually to think more holistically about what they do with the economy, how they spend money, so that the message actually gets through and something actually gets done. Because otherwise, you're fighting every little interest group on every little point.
Yeah, look, Andrew, you're right, and we say on about page 2 of the report, we know inevitably that the vested interest groups will get out and say this is grossly unfair to us, and it shouldn't be us, and should be somebody else. But I think it's up to our political leaders to take that up, and I mean, we're trying our hardest, but I mean, the answer is quite simple. If people are excluded from this and failing and excluded unfairly from this in many respects, then this is just not fair for the whole of society. And I've had a little bit of reaction to some of them recently. I'm just saying, well, you're being greedy. You're really actually being greedy. You want everybody else to suffer and you to keep your whatever you've got at the present time, and that's just not unfair, and you're being greedy. And I think if our political leaders got out and said that a little bit more openly and honestly, I think you could bring the community with us, because Australians actually underneath have a very strong sense of fairness, which may overwhelm their sense of entitlement, hopefully.
Tony, one.
And that there's kind of a feeling that maybe this feels like one last drag of the crack pipe by government to, put another levy on. And so can we expect governments to give up the crack pipe?
Oh, Ross, that was great. Philip Higginson nearly fell over.